They still hang lanterns in Hollow Creek every Halloween. The townsfolk say it's just tradition, but the truth is older. Every porch burns a real flame from dusk till dawn. No one lets it die, not anymore. When I was a kid, my grandmother said the light keeps the lantern man away. Long ago, he was the church caretaker, keeper of the road lamps. One Halloween, he forgot to light the one by the bridge. A carriage missed the turn and sank into the creek. They found the caretaker wandering the road, skin burned, eyes gone white from the smoke, whispering that the lights had all gone out at once. A week later, he vanished. People began seeing a tall figure on the road, carrying a cracked lantern that glowed red. So every Halloween, they kept theirs burning to remind him he was not forgotten. I never believed it. When I was 17, I decided to test it. My parents were out, the streets quiet after the last trick-or-treaters. Lanterns swayed on every porch, a wavering orange line down the road. Stepped outside, leaned toward ours, and blew it out. The flame vanished. The air went still. At first, nothing happened. Then came a scraping sound, faint and rhythmic, metal dragging across gravel. It grew louder, closer, echoing between houses. The other lanterns began to flicker, one by one, until the street was swallowed by darkness. Then a glow appeared at the end of the road, a deep red, pulsing like a heartbeat. Through the fog he came, tall shoulders hunched beneath a scorched coat. His lantern was cracked, its flame twisted into strange shapes like faces trying to form in smoke. His other hand dragged an iron hook along the ground, making that sound I'll never forget. He stopped at the Miller porch, where the last lantern sputtered out. Then he turned toward me. I couldn't move. The air felt thick as water. Stumbled inside, slammed the door, and locked it. The smell of burning oil seeped through the cracks. Then came the knock 3 slow taps that rattled the glass. My grandmother's words flashed through my mind. You don't want that knock. He knocked again, harder. The red glow leaked under the door. I ran upstairs and hid beneath my bed like a terrified child. The footsteps creaked across the porch, around the house, pausing by every window. The glow drifted past my curtains, then faded. When morning came, I found every lantern on the street blackened and cold. Hours lay shattered on the porch. I never told anyone what I saw. I left town the next year and never returned for Halloween. 10 years later, my mother died in a house fire. The police called it electrical, but the neighbor said she'd been found near the door, clutching the lantern. The glass hadn't melted, and inside the wick was still smoldering. I drove back for the funeral. Hollow Creek hadn't changed. Same narrow road, same fog. But every porch now had a new lantern, all burning brighter than I remembered. When I asked the neighbors why, they only said, "You don't want the lantern man thinking you forgot." That night I couldn't sleep. Around midnight, I drove through town. The lanterns were glowing red instead of gold. At the bridge, I saw a man standing in the fog, holding a lantern that burned like a coal. He turned and walked into the woods. I followed without thinking. The forest was silent except for my breathing. His light bobbed ahead, always just far enough to keep me chasing. He stopped beside the creek, little more than a black ditch. Nan raised the lantern. The water glowed red, and faces appeared beneath the surface, pale and still, eyes open, lips moving in the current. He lifted the lantern toward me, and in that moment I understood what he wanted: to pass it on, to make someone else remember. The light flickered violently, and I felt my hand reaching for it, even as every part of me screamed not to. The glass was hot as bone. Then everything went dark. I woke in my car at dawn, parked on the roadside, clothes damp with dew. On the passenger seat sat the old lantern, cracked but whole, a faint ember glowing inside. It hasn't gone out since. Tonight is Halloween again. I've tried to smother it, drown it, bury it in the ground. Every time by morning, it's burning. Maybe it never stops once you touch it. Maybe that's how the story keeps going. I'm driving back to Hollow Creek now. The sun is setting, the fog already rising from the fields. In the back seat sits a new lantern I bought from the hardware store, still empty, waiting for oil and a match. If the light ever dies, he'll come for me. But if I keep it burning, maybe he'll stay on the road, still searching for someone who forgets. Either way, when midnight comes, every porch in Hollow Creek will glow red again. And somewhere out there, the Lantern Man will walk.